He controlled what I wore, who I saw, even what time I breathed. But the day I discovered the one thing he feared more than losing control, everything changed. This isn't just a revenge story. This is how I turned his darkest secret into the key that finally set me free. My name is Ava Thompson, and I spent 3 years with a man who believed control was the same thing as love. His name was Ethan Walker, the kind of man who looked perfect to the world, but behind closed doors, he was a storm disguised as calm. He never hit me. He never screamed. That's the scary part. His control was quiet, soft, and suffocating. I didn't even realize I was drowning until the day I finally reached for air and found something he never wanted me to see. The one thing that terrified him. The one thing that gave me all the power he thought I didn't have. When Ethan and I first started dating, he was magnetic calm, put together, always knowing exactly what to say. People called him emotionally mature, but he wasn't. He was just emotionally calculated. The first sign came early, 2 months in. He casually commented, "I think dark colors suit you better. Don't wear those bright dresses, they're not really you." I laughed it off. Then I stopped wearing bright colors. A month later, he said, "You don't need to hang out with Laura anymore. She's a bad influence." So I distanced myself. Then he started deciding what time I should sleep, what kind of jobs were appropriate, what photos I posted, which friends he didn't trust. Every rule had a sweet wrapper around it. "I'm just protecting you. I'm trying to help you. I care about you more than you care about yourself." Slow poison, drip by drip. But the thing about control is, once someone tightens the leash, they don't stop. They pull harder. It was a Thursday night. I had stayed late at work because my boss needed help preparing monthly reports. When I walked through the door exhausted, Ethan was sitting in the living room, lights off, just staring, not angry. Not yelling, just staring. It was the quiet that scared me. "Why didn't you answer your phone?" he asked. "I was working. I sent you 17 messages, Ava. 17. His voice wasn't loud, but it vibrated with something cold. "I need to know where you are at all times." "It's not that complicated." He said it like it was reasonable, like I was a child, like my life belonged to him. That night, I lay in bed, awake, realizing something. This wasn't protection. This was ownership. And I needed to take back my life. But I didn't want to leave blindly. If I confronted him without a plan, Ethan wouldn't let me go that easily. And I was right, because the universe handed me something even more powerful than courage. It handed me the weapon he never wanted me to find. One afternoon, while Ethan was out, I walked into his office to return a document he needed. I wasn't snooping at first, but then I noticed his desk drawer wasn't fully closed. Inside was a black notebook, leather-bound, locked, but the small key was taped underneath the desk. Curiosity tugged at me, but fear held me back. I shouldn't read this, but something inside whispered, "He reads your messages. He checks your emails. He tracks your location. Don't you want to know what he hides?" So I opened it. My entire body went cold. The notebook wasn't a planner. It was a record, a disgusting, obsessive record. Page after page, he wrote everything I did, what time I woke up, how long my showers were, every phone call I made, what I wore, where I went, who I talked to, even things I didn't know he noticed. Monday, Ava seemed distant. Monitor closely. Friday, she wore lipstick, possible attention-seeking. Sunday, she spoke to neighbor for 45 seconds. Watch behavior, 45 seconds. This wasn't love. This was surveillance. And then I found the worst part. Goal. Full behavioral alignment within 6 months. Full behavioral alignment. Like I was a project, a thing to mold, a machine to reprogram. My hands shook as I flipped to the last page. Do not let her leave. She's not ready to function alone. That's when I knew if I tried to walk away, he would not let me. I needed something that turned the power dynamic upside down. And I found it written in a rushed, panicked handwriting, unlike the rest of the book. His secret, his fear, his weakness. Must avoid father at all costs. If he contacts Ava, everything falls apart. My breath caught. Why? What was he hiding from his father? And then I saw a name scribbled repeatedly. Dr. Samuel Walker, psychiatrist, renowned specialist in psychological disorders. Ethan's father. I Googled him. He specialized in treating personality disorders, particularly narcissistic and obsessive behavioral conditions. Oh, Ethan wasn't just controlling, he was terrified someone would expose him, And that someone was me. I took pictures of everything, every page, every note, every obsessive log he kept on me. Then I wrote a message to his father, a calm, factual, respectful message. No emotion, just evidence. Attached, photos of the notebook. I didn't send it, not yet. I saved it and scheduled it. A timed email, set to send if I didn't manually stop it, every 48 hours. And then I waited. I acted normal. I complied. I let Ethan think he still had control, because the sweetest revenge is the moment someone realizes they never had power in the first place. The day I finally told him I was leaving, he didn't get angry. He went eerily calm. His voice dropped to that low, frozen tone. "Ava, don't do this. You're making a mistake." "I'm done, Ethan." "No," he whispered, stepping closer. "You're confused. You can't function without what? Your rules." His nostrils flared. "You think you can walk away. You think you can just leave." And that's when I smiled. Not fear, not panic, just power. I already did. Then I showed him my phone, the scheduled email screen glowing bright, his face drained of color. "What is that?" he whispered. "Insurance," I said. "If anything happens to me, or if you try to stop me, your father gets everything." Ethan froze. "I'll disable it if you back off. If you don't, well, you know exactly what happens next." For the first time in 3 years, he looked scared. Not losing me, but losing control, losing the image he built, losing the facade he lived behind. His voice broke. "Ava, please, don't send that. I won't, as long as you walk away from me." And he did. He stepped back. He let me pack. He didn't touch me, didn't follow me, didn't even argue. The fear of his father knowing the truth was stronger than his desire to control me. That was my revenge. It's been 9 months. I blocked him, changed my number, moved apartments, rebuilt my life. Last week, I received a message from an unknown number. "I'm getting help. You were right." I'm sorry I didn't reply. Some stories don't need a reunion. Some people don't deserve a second chance. And some women, like me, finally learn that revenge doesn't always mean destruction. Sometimes it simply means choosing yourself and leaving them terrified of the truth you hold. And that's how a man who tried to control every piece of my life lost every piece of his power. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I didn't break. I learned sometimes the strongest revenge is the quiet one, the one they never see coming, the one that uses their own darkness against them. If you're listening to this, you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to stay small. Your freedom is worth more than their control.